No rules fighting, the raw world of combat without boundaries. The world of no rules fighting, often associated with underground and unregulated combat, evokes a mix of fascination, adrenaline, and controversy. This unique form of fighting pushes human endurance, skill, and resilience to the absolute limits, stripping combat down to its most primal essence. While not for the faint-hearted, this realm of physical confrontation holds an undeniable allure for both fighters and spectators. What is no rules fighting? At its core, no rules fighting is exactly what it sounds like: combat without the traditional regulations or restrictions imposed by mainstream sports. Unlike modern mixed martial arts (MMA), which is governed by comprehensive rule sets designed to ensure fairness and safety, no rules fighting often allows techniques and tactics prohibited in regulated bouts. Strikes to vulnerable areas, grappling with no limitations, and even weapons can sometimes come into play, depending on the event. No rules fighting typically takes place outside of sanctioned arenas, in underground settings, or as part of cultural traditions that prioritize anything goes combat. These bouts can be raw, unpredictable, and incredibly dangerous, making them both controversial and compelling. The history of no rules fighting. The idea of unrestricted combat is far from new. History is replete with examples of societies and cultures engaging in unregulated fighting to test the strength and skill of their warriors. Ancient Greece, the Pancration, an Olympic event, combined wrestling and striking with minimal restrictions. It was brutal and often ended in serious injury or death. Feudal Japan. Samurai practiced forms of combat where honor and survival were intertwined, often with very few limitations. Medieval Europe. Gladiatorial games and knightly tournaments frequently crossed into the realm of no holds barred, especially when lives were on the line. In the modern era, the underground fight scene immortalized in popular culture through movies like Fight Club has carried forward this legacy of bare-knuckle, boundary-pushing combat. The fighters? No rules fighting attracts a unique breed of participants. These fighters come from diverse backgrounds. Martial artists, street fighters, and thrill seekers alike step into the ring or cage to prove themselves. Unlike professional MMA, where fighters often follow carefully planned career paths, no rules combatants are often driven by personal motivations such as reputation, earning respect within their communities or among their peers, survival, fighting as a way to make money or escape challenging circumstances, passion for combat, a love for the raw, unfiltered nature of fighting. These fighters rely heavily on their instincts, adaptability, and willingness to endure pain. Training for such events often emphasizes toughness and improvisation over technical mastery. The risks and controversy. No rules fighting is not without its dangers. The lack of oversight and regulations means fighters face a significantly higher risk of injury or even death. Without safety protocols, bouts can spiral into chaos, with devastating consequences for participants. Critics argue that these fights exploit participants and glorify violence. Medical professionals express concerns about the long-term health effects on fighters, particularly brain trauma and physical injuries that go untreated due to the lack of medical supervision. Proponents, however, see no rules fighting as a form of ultimate freedom. They argue that it's an authentic expression of human nature, a throwback to a time when survival and combat skills were paramount. Why does no rules fighting attract fans? For spectators, no rules fighting offers an unparalleled sense of excitement and unpredictability. Unlike mainstream combat sports, where outcomes are often influenced by regulations and strategies, these fights are raw and unfiltered. The stakes feel higher, the tension more palpable. Every move carries the potential for dramatic, even life-altering consequences. In addition, the underground nature of these events adds to their mystique. Attending a no-rules fight often feels like stepping into a secret world, one governed by its own rules and codes of honor. The legal and ethical dilemmas. Because of its dangerous and unregulated nature, no rules fighting operates in a legal gray area. Many countries have outright banned such events, considering them a public safety hazard. When caught, organizers and participants may face fines, imprisonment, or other penalties. Yet, these restrictions only seem to fuel the underground appeal. Fighters and fans often view the prohibition as part of the thrill, adding an extra layer of rebellion to an already intense experience.